welcome to my channel. Glad to have you. And if this is your first time, welcome. Today I am going to be talking about relationships, do's and don'ts. I'll be giving you my tips and things you should do and not do in a relationship if you want it to last. And if you want to fix situations in your relationship, keep watching. Okay, we're going to be getting into it. I'm going to be talking about one of the do's. If you're in a relationship and you have your partner and she asks you, can you pick up your daughter from after school or pick her up from my mom's, and you promised already that you were going to pick her up and you said you were going to pick her up, go pick her up. Don't put all the obligations on your partner. If she's doing more of the stuff and you're not like helping out, then try to help out in other ways. That's not just like pushing her to the side, because sometimes women do a lot of stuff. It's better yet you say I can't, I'm not doing it, rather than you saying you're going to do something and you don't do it. That prevents arguments, that prevents fights. Just be open, like I can't, I'm not going to do it. Just don't say you're going to do something and not do it, because then the other partner feels like, I'm doing this for you and you're not returning what I'm asking for. If you can do it, you do it. Or I'm going to tell you, in a relationship, sometimes if you depend too much on the other person to like, hey, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? And it's like it's not getting done. Of course, sometimes you do it yourself, but if don't expect the other partner to, when you want something done, that partner is going to be doing it, because it's not fair to that partner that you want, and you're not returning. So you have to sit, both of you have to sit and try to communicate and sit. Like, for example, I can you go to the grocery store? Can you pick up milk? Can you pick up bread? Can you go pick up eggs? And you say, okay, I'll pick it up. And you pick it up. Sometimes you might not be able to pick it up. Say, I can't pick it up. I'm not going to be able. Just say you can't. I'm sorry. I have this to do. I can't. Even if you don't want to do something, just at least say, I can't, I don't, whatever. But just make sure that you let the other person, but don't expect sometimes to get the same thing returned, because if you're not compromising in between, don't expect the other person to be willing to do something that you requested. Now, I'm gonna tell you one thing you should don't do, okay? Don't yell and don't talk down on your partner. Try to sit and try to level the conversation, even though sometimes it might go, but choose your words wisely of how you talk to your partner, because you might be disrespecting your partner and then later there's no respect. If there's no respect, it's just abusive. So try to find a way to think of the things you're going to say before you say it, because you do know your partner and you do know how to push buttons on them. So, for example, if you are going to say something about your partner, if you don't like your partner's hair or whatever, just be nice a certain way. Don't be so nasty and mean. Like, oh, I don't like it. I think it looks like a pig, or say something like, I like your hair color this color, or I like, try to be more understandable, because you may not like the way your girlfriend's hair looks, but another guy might like it. And you know if you keep putting your girl down, she's gonna think that, you know, if I can find somebody else that's gonna treat me better, believe me, she will find somebody better. She will find somebody better. As also, it goes with a man. Remember to try to have that respect. Don't try not to, like, if this is another don't expect your partner to always plan something. Like, it should be, you know, give or take, like, try to see if you can meet each other, you know, if you like to do something, then try to compromise in what she likes or what he likes. I mean, if you're gonna plan a trip, make sure that you both agree, you both are gonna enjoy it, and try not to be so negative. Try to see both things you like, you know, try not to, for example, expect the person to always plan something. Just try to compromise on certain things to, do together where you both can enjoy it. You both have a nice time, whether if it's skiing, where if it is skydiving, whether it's just in a hotel and you're having a nice time, nice private place, you know, maybe you like being around a lot of people. I'm not the type of person that likes to be around so many people when I am in a place because it's just the way I am. I'm more private. That's the way I like to be. But if you prefer to be, in a place where, a lot of people, you get to know a person in a private place, more personal, more better. But if you're going to plan something, I'm saying don't always plan something with so many friends. If you want to spend time with that person, make them a priority because then they're not going to make you a priority. If you're always trying to plan something with so many people, when do you have time for that person? Let's bring the whole family. Like, let's bring, like, for example, your cousin, your father, your uncle. I mean, it's okay to do it, but you also have to have that time with your partner. Get away, do something. Like, it's not just always, it's nice to do things together with family, but it's also nice to do things alone where you can, like, distress and just enjoy your partner. Another things you should do is to respect, like, keep, if your partner does not like to for you to tell things about them, don't be open and say, hey, you told your friend about, hey, da da da, personal stuff. You should say, hey, can my mom or can this, ask. Don't just start blabbing. I'm talking too fast now. Blabbing your personal stuff to family members or to friends and stuff. Make sure they want you or are like, you know, are happy or feeling okay with you sharing personal stuff because not everybody likes, their personal stuff shared. Me, I don't like everything shared depending on what it is. If it's something that I'm creating or something that I'm doing new, I don't want my personal stuff to be shared because not everybody needs to know my business. Another thing you should not do is criticize a partner, like telling them, you know, oh, you look overweight, I don't like this or I don't like that. Encourage the person, encourage a partner, and tell them, hey, I think you should come with me to the gym. I think, encourage them to eat healthier, do things that make them feel better. Don't talk down on them. Don't make them feel, unwanted. Don't make them feel like shit, you know, because believe me, they can find somebody else that can treat them better. Try to let them know how you feel. Hey, I don't like you doing this. Can you stop doing that? And if the person is usually like in the don'ts, saying, hey, blabbing your stuff, then you have to stop telling your business to that person and just say certain things, but don't tell them your, deep things, because if the person can't, like, your partner is like, some people can't just keep shit to themselves, And I am the type of person, I like keeping it private because I like being private. When it comes to relationships, I think it's good to keep your stuff private because you don't want to know everybody knowing your business because not, I'm telling you, everybody doesn't care. People share your stuff and talk shit. People share your stuff and they will make sure that it's exaggerated, that it's not how it seems. So the better you have in a relationship to work, just to keep things, between the two. If you trust the person, for example, your sister, or depending what it is, you can tell certain things, but not everything is supposed to be spoken to. Choose wisely who you keep around because not everybody is your friend. Like, don't don't tell your friends everything. Don't tell your friends about everything that's going on in your relationship because they can use that against you with your partner. In a relationship, you talk with your partner, you tell things with your partner, and don't keep secrets. Like, if it's like it's gonna hurt your relationship, don't keep secrets that's gonna break your relationship up. You should be open because in the long run, is it worth losing your partner? If you really are in love with that person, is it worth it? And don't cheat on your partner because I'm telling you, if you want to ruin your relationship, that's the first thing you if you do, it's not gonna work. Me, I don't have a problem with breaking up with someone. If a person cheats on me, I can find somebody else. You know, I don't need to be stuck with a person that's gonna cheat on me. There's no reason. I'm not gonna be stupid and be like, yeah, yeah, I love you. I don't care if I love someone as much as I love them. I'm not gonna be like certain people that I've seen that do stay with their partner because it's not worth it. If they love you, then they'll be with you. If there's no love and if they're cheating on you in the first place, then I don't do it again. I won't do it. How stupid is a woman gonna be, or how stupid is a guy gonna be? Be like, okay, I'll stay. For what? You're gonna be catching the disease, being with that partner, and they're not faithful, being around, sleeping who knows who. Just don't do things that you don't want done to you because it's not worth it. It's not. If you want to be promiscuous, if you want to be a hoe, man whore, or a female hoe, then do it on your own time. If you're gonna be committed in a relationship, that's a don't. If you are not sure what you want, at least let the person know, hey, you know, I'm not looking for nothing serious. Then let the person decide if they want to continue. Maybe they're looking for the same thing, but it's a don't. Okay, do's. Do romantic stuff with your partner. Talk about with your partner things. It's nice, the flowers, plan stuff with your partner. Like, do things, even if it's at home, turn on candles, do romantic things with your partner if it's at home or if it's outside, if it's a park or if whatever it is, just do something nice just to make them know that you thought of them. It's a nice gesture. It's, show that you're interested. If you gotta think outside the box, I mean, things that you can do. Things that you can do is like, be on the phone, text them. Just even if it's for like a minute or two, say, hey, hi, how you doing? Just to show their your interest. Things you do in the relationship. Things you should do. If I'm gonna tell you something you should not do, don't do, is ignore them. Say, hey, I was too busy. Hey, I couldn't call you. Hey, I was with my brother. Hey, and you call them the next day. You call them. That does not show interest. Believe me, if a person does not show me interest, I will not waste my time. You show the same interest you show me, I'm gonna show you. If you don't show me no interest, I'm not gonna waste my time. Why? If there's somebody else that can show me the interest that you can't show me, it takes two. If you can't show me, why should I waste my time? I think it's important to show that interest and get to know the person, what they like, what they don't like, their interests, and just be in that energy so you can get to know that person. If you're in wanting that relationship, it's important to do to be in a relationship just to show that interest. If you don't, then what's the point? That person is not going to be, I mean, there's people that do waste their time, but it's things that you should talk about. If you wanting a relationship, talk about, things that they like, but you don't have to be so open in the beginning. I mean, you can tell certain things, but it's good to get to know the person, the kind of personality, what they like, what they don't like. Don't be closed off. Try to be open with that other person. Try to let that person get to know you. If you don't let that other person know you, then how are you going to build a relationship? How? If you're not opening up, if you're blocking yourself and you're not trying to open yourself and you're being scared, I think you are going to need therapy. I think you're going to need, I'm telling you, meditation works. It helps relieve anxiety, it helps calm stress and everything. So take deep breaths, like meditate, like hold your breath when you're breathing in, let it out, and visualize like when you let it out, focus you're letting it out through here, like you're seeing yourself letting it out through here. And when you're breathing in, focus you're letting it out through there, through the top of your head, crown. Let it out and relieve. Just take that calmness. It helps to relieve. I'm telling you. When you close your eyes, you start seeing colors. That's when you know you're starting to go within. And with that peace, when you feel like that peace, you know that you're relieving the stress, certain stress and everything. And if you feel like you need to relieve more, go outside. If you have a yard, go to the park or go somewhere you know you could be alone, just for a few, even if it's in your house, certain area, and just relieve that stress. Because sometimes you're in a certain relationship. If you're having a lot of stress, you do need therapy. You need therapy because if you're arguing a lot, then it's not healthy. I'm telling you, that's a don't. You need to sit and talk, but you have to talk in a level where you both are able to talk to each other, not screaming, not everything. Try to find a way where you are not screaming, where you can connect to. If you know the person can tick on certain things, try not to get to that level. Try to understand the other person. Try to, you know, if the person, you want the person to do this or to do that, try to compromise. Because this person doesn't want to do it, then you should do it. Certain things you have to compromise, you know. So try to work around certain things, even if it's to take the child, even if it's to do plan something. Depending on what it is, try to fix a situation. If you can't fix a situation and it's too much and it's too explosive, and if you're karmic, if you're like, if you there's what's the sense of being in a relationship? That's like a don't. You can't. Then you should separate and see if you can work out things better that way, just for a few days, maybe a month or two. If it's not working, then I'm telling you, it's not worth being in a relationship. And just be by yourself and just have that healing. That healing where you go to therapy. It's not bad therapy. You open up yourself and you talk to someone if you trust to open up and tell your things to. You can also meditate. I'm telling you, meditation works. It relieves stress, it relieves anxiety. Just you can be in a place where it's just the sun hitting you and just feeling that it just feels good. The moon, it feels good to just distress, just feel calm within, and you'll feel different. You should, I'm telling you, you should meditate. It helps. It helps a lot. You are going to be in another level when you start meditating. Do it more often. You are, if you get to the level where you feel the kundalini rise and you feel the snake going up, then you feel You feel the energy coming out. It's a different feeling. If you reach that, you're in another level. You should try that. You have to go Google it. On that, it helps to it gets you on another level where you feel more at peace. It's just a different level, a different consciousness. You can say it feels good to feel that. You might start seeing visions when you start meditating. You start having your eyes closed. You might see certain things, and you know, um, when you reach into certain levels like that. Also, the things you should not do is don't. If you're going on a date and if it's your first date, depending on what it is, don't bring your whole family with you on a date. Things you don't do. If you've been in a relationship for some time, make sure you tell your partner that you're bringing other people to that. Don't just pop up and bring other people like that because they might not feel comfortable and it's not right. I know if I'm going out with a guy and the first day he's going to bring all these people, I mean, if I don't feel the vibe and I don't feel that, I click with, certain people, I might not feel I click with that person. I'm not going out with that person again because it's how you're going to get to know the person when you're with so many people, you know? You're supposed to get to know the person. It's okay to get to know their friends, but if they ask you out, why bring your whole, you could say collection of friends, You bring your friends afterwards when you get to know the person to meet your friends. That's something you do not do. It's like you're judging the partner, like, oh, you meet this person. What do you think they are? How do you think they're like? You don't, I think that's not right. I mean, it's like, and then they put you on like blast. Hey, so what do you think of my friend? What do you think of? You don't even. I'm like, look, don't ask me about your friend because I just met your friend. I'm getting to know the person, so why would your friend even ask? It's. I just feel that you're putting a situation more uncomfortable. You know, okay, the person is getting to know how you are when you're with your other friends, but I think you leave that in another level where you got to know the person a little more, and then you can bring them around your friends because they got to know you more. So if you want to bring, into the level of relationship, that's different, but not just in the beginning where, you know, it's just new, just something you just don't do. Even if, I mean, it's nice to get to know the parents and, the siblings and stuff like that. But if you know the person is, you're connecting and you feel that you're interested and you feel that the connection is good and you are going to be in a relationship, and then you, of course, you bring them around your family and you, things that you do. But if you feel that there's no connection and it's not working or whatever, then you have to let that person. That's something you don't do. You don't bring them to your family. You don't, start doing things. What's the point? What's the sense of why? Why would you? It's no sense. I feel like don't. It's just a don't, you know? And I feel like in the beginning, when you're getting to know a person, I mean, I'm not going to bring something you don't do. You don't bring someone to your house if you don't really know them. Because, first of all, you don't know if they're a psycho. They could be loony, You don't know if they're crazy. You don't know if they have these crazy bad habits. You don't know if, they're a hoe, or you don't know if the guy, it's just like a slob, or, crazy, or it depends a lot, you know? In certain situations, you see these patterns on people like, oh my God, what was I thinking? Or I'm gonna tell you one thing. One time I went out, it was just, I was on the phone, those calls that you call, meet up with a person. Oh my God, I went with a friend of mine. I was not gonna by myself. Oh my God, I was. I met the person. It was a guy. A guy had. First of all, who would wear red pants on a date? I mean, mind you, in the time, it's like so colorful, so fruitful, like fruity. Oh, another thing, the guy was limping. Like, I was like, oh my God. And then he told me he had his eyebrows cut like a woman. Like, come, I'm not attracted to a man that's trying to look like a woman. I'm no way. I want a man look manly, got, no, I'm not gonna be, oh no. And then he's limping and looking like, I don't know what. And then he looked like a girl, like with his eyebrows like me. Like, come on, no. I'm looking for a man and not looking like a weirdo, not looking like, no, not a fruitcake. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find a person that is straight. I'm not looking for a guy that's swinging both ways. It's just I prefer just one way. I want to make sure that the guy's not gonna cheat on me with another guy because usually that happens in certain situations where I'm not letting that. Nope, not me. You straight with me. You straight with me. I don't swing both ways. I'm straight. So you straight with me. I'm straight with you because that's the way I am. That's it. You know. But first of all, you really have to find out. You do find out. This is something you have to do. Find out if the person likes men, likes women. If you're going to be going out with someone, make sure that you find out the orientation. Make sure if you're going out with a guy, if you're going out with a female, if the female likes females, find out. If the male likes males, find out. You make sure that if you are straight and you want to be dating a straight man, make sure that you find out because in the long run, you don't want to be in a situation where you're gonna be, played, and then, cheating on, you don't want a situation where it leads to like that. Just to be on a safe side, make sure that your partner is what they're supposed to be. If you want to make a man straight, if you want a female straight, if you don't mind that, then that's on you. If you don't mind if they swing the other way, but me, I like the man to be straight. That's point blank. If you like your female to be straight, then you have to find out their orientation. That's for sure. So things you have to do. First of all, another thing is that things you should do. Find out what the partner likes. Find out about the way they live. Find out the things that they like to do. Things that you don't do is find out. Like I think if you're being too nosy in the beginning and starting a relationship and you're asking too much personal stuff, I think there's a boundary where you let the person tell you. Don't just be too. I think certain things you have to let it flow when it flows and let the person be open to when they feel comfortable, when they get to know you more. Don't just, if they feel comfortable to tell you certain things, then you tell them. But if they don't tell you everything, wait until they feel comfortable to tell you everything that you want to know. Because not everybody's comfortable in opening up that fast, Don't expect, hey, I got 6 billion kids, No, you have to wait until the person feels comfortable and lets you know about their situation, living condition, and whatever it is. I mean, I think that personal stuff, I mean, depending on what it is, I mean, it's a boundary to, but if you're comfortable in asking, depending on what it is, of course, I'm going to want to find out certain things, but it depends on what it is. But, when you get into another person, you can't just ask so many questions in the beginning. I mean, after you're in a relationship and you can start asking more questions because I think that's more you got to know the person more and the person feels more comfortable and you feel more comfortable. Things that you don't do in the beginning when you're starting off, like beginning of the relationship. Don't be so like if you constantly are like, so what position you like? Well, have how many guys you've been with or how many women you've been with. I think it's not appropriate. I think there's certain things, levels where you are like, you shouldn't be asking certain things like that because it's just the fact that okay, you want to know, but there's a time and a place for that. Not just in the beginning of like you talking to them the first day, and you're already what do you think the person's gonna think? That's all you want. So things you do and you don't do. You can't just expect the person to be like, hey, okay, I'll tell you my life story. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. What you put out is what you get. If you're open, then a person will open up more. But if you want to be closed off, don't expect the person to be open. And things you don't do in the relationship, constantly be on the phone. If you're constantly on the phone and you're not giving that person attention, what do you think the person's gonna do? They're not gonna want to see you anymore. They're gonna think you probably have somebody else, or if they're not that important to you, then if you're on the phone, what do you think is gonna happen? They're not gonna pay attention to you. They're not gonna want to go out with you. So if you're constantly texting or talking, it's like, come on. You could put that aside and say, hey, can you pay attention? If the person does not pay, believe me, I won't bother because if it doesn't make no sense to waste my time. I'm not gonna the attention you give me is I'm gonna notice if you're interested. If you're not interested, believe me, it'll take long for me to be like, hey, well, why waste my time? I'm not gonna give the time. I will blow you off, and that's it. I will. Believe me, I will. So you put in the work, and you know, reciprocate. You make sure that you show the interest. Because if you don't, then what's the sense? What's the point? You know, I got a new cut, new hairstyle. My hair, I had it orange. I changed it a little bit. Looks more like a pinkish or darker color, but whatever. I'm just letting my hair grow so I can just stop dyeing it. Letting it grow and just be how it is. My regular hair in the top like that. That's how my hair is. I have dead hair. Over here is just it's not as dead like you see the ends. Well, anyways, that's not the point. I'll forget about my hair, but I like taking care of my hair, so you know. So if there's anything that you want to do is make sure that you're on time on a date. Don't keep constantly like being late and late and late. Because if you don't show that interest, what do you think is gonna happen? That person is not gonna bother with you. They're gonna be like, you know what, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You think the person's gonna sit there and wait for you? Like people got other things to do than sit there and wait for you to give them excuses. Like I'm not gonna be bothered if I keep getting if for example, one day an excuse, but you give me another. Oh, I couldn't see you. I couldn't see. What do you think I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna blow you off, and I'm not gonna waste my time. I'm not gonna see you. I'm not gonna waste my time. If you show me interest, I'll show you interest. If you blow me off, why should I give you my time? I could find somebody else to give you the time. That's the way I see it. I'm just giving you tips and stuff. If you are in a relationship and you see the signs, things that you don't do is lift your hand on a woman or a guy. Don't start hitting. Don't start disrespecting. When you start hitting and disrespecting, then the relationship is done. You should not be in a relationship. That's not love. If you start hitting each other and you start physically punching, physically hitting, physically wherever it is. Now, if you're playing around and you're like, sexually doing, that's different. But I'm talking about disrespecting like that, then you can't fix that. Then you shouldn't be in a relationship. If you're disrespecting each other to a point where you're physically hitting each other, and if you want to work it out, then you can go to therapy. But if you see that it doesn't work, what's the point of trying to work something out when the respect is lost? There's no sense of working it out. I think that you should not be in a relationship when it's like that. I'm telling you because it'll just get worse, worse to the point where one of you are gonna kill each other. I'm telling you, one of you are gonna kill each other. You're gonna offend each other and say something that you don't really mean, but at the moment you're mad and you're gonna say something that is gonna trigger the other person, and that person is gonna have those demonic eye. I'm telling you, you are either gonna break something, you're either gonna do something to the point where you're gonna destroy the house, or you're gonna destroy each other, or you're gonna. I'm telling you, when you start breaking stuff, breaking cars, breaking whatever, burning stuff in the house or clothes, or there's no point. I mean, if it's to the point where the person is jealous, the other person is to the point where if it's okay to be jealous to a certain point, but when you start doing things, because of course you care about the person, but when you start physically fighting and you physically are just like hitting each other or slapping or break up, you deserve like time to heal, time to break up, there's no sense of, you know, being with each other. Try to have respect. Things that you do, try to do respect each other. Try to, communicate. Try to, you know, if you can do like for example, go food shopping together, do things. I mean, not saying that you always are able to do things, but when you can, try to, because if you can enjoy each other's company, then that's what matters. But if you see that someone is getting in the way, for example, a friend, or if your partner, a male or female, it could be either or, if you see that your friend has a female friend and she's trying to get in and trying to talk to you and you're not noticing and your girlfriend is saying, hey, try not to joke around, try not, my friend and what, try just avoid that. Try to tell the female, hey, your friend is like this, da da da. I don't think you should bring her around because she's, flirting with me. Try to be honest because you know what? Then your girlfriend has to take that friend out of the house because believe me, there's females that are like that, and to avoid situations you gotta know who you bring in your house, even though sometimes you think you know the person, but sometimes the person is not respectful. If you know that you can't trust that person, then don't bring them to your house. Don't bring certain people to your house. Not always is a good idea, who you bring. If you know that that person is loyal, that person is going to be, it depending who it is. But you can't always bring certain people to your house. Not everybody is a good person. I'm telling you. So, things you should do and things you should not do. You have to watch out for that. And if you see, if there's too much abuse and there's too much, you freaking bitch, you freaking asshole, too much of the cursing and too much of the in the relationship, then verbal abuse should not be tolerated. It's something you don't do. I don't curse. I don't be doing that to my partner. For example, you don't do that to your partner. I don't do that to my partner. You shouldn't do that to your partner. I don't do that if I'm with a partner, for example, and the partner is, you know, talking to me down. I don't do that to my partner. You know, if the person is like, oh, I don't like, I, f you, you know, because whatever, whatever, whatever. Now that's disrespectful. I don't tolerate no disrespect like that, and I will put you in your place. Believe me, I will put you in your place. I'm like, you don't talk to me like that. I will put you in your place. If you don't respect me, I'm done with you. I me tolerate people cursing at me and tolerate no. You don't tolerate abuse from nobody, no matter who it is. I don't care if it's a man, a female. Don't tolerate that because in the long run, it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get physical. Don't tolerate it. You have to put them in their place. Say, hey, I don't like that. Don't disrespect me because I don't like it, and you put them in their place. If it's a man or female, you have to try to think before you say something. Don't just say things and then if you know that it's gonna hurt, like I said, it's gonna hurt the person, think before you speak. Don't just say something that's gonna hurt the other person. Respect is important for a relationship to work, and there has to be love. You have to love yourself in order to love someone else. If you don't love yourself, you can't love someone else. And also, it depends how you are mentally. Mentally, you have to be stable. Of course, when you're in situations, you get nervous and you are in a bad situations. If I'm in a relationship, right? If I'm in a relationship, I have to be stable, meaning wise. I have to be capable of being in a relationship. If you've been in a relationship and there's been too much abuse and there's been too much of bad situation, you need to heal. You need to go to therapy. You need to meditate. You need to like be by yourself for some time and heal and not be with someone because you're just gonna involve yourself into involve yourself. You're still hurt. I mean, if you know that person can help you and show you like talk to you and be your friends and you can like help you like change to the point where you know, I'm telling you, healing is important. You need to heal. Healing is important. Meditating, I think meditation is very important. It helps to heal, it helps to distress, it helps with anxiety. I'm telling you, you have to go to therapy. Therapy, I mean, if the partner didn't work, just go by yourself. Go by yourself, go to therapy. Even if you were going to a therapy place with your partner, go find some other therapy place. If it didn't work with that person, go to another therapy place. Go find somebody else that can help you. Because not everybody can help, especially a therapy place. If you see that person is not helping, find another therapist. I'm telling you, if it's not working and you see it's not working, go somewhere else. Or If you're with that person and it's not working and you see, then just try to keep it as friends and see if you're better as friends and if it's better that way and you're going to be at peace, because it's better to be at peace than to be fighting and arguing and in a bad situation where you know it's not going to work. If you're going to get married and you have money, make sure you do a prenuptial agreement. If you um are with a person that, I'm telling you, just it's better just to cover your ass, because it's just the fact of it is that you are in love with a person or whatever it is, and if you have something going for yourself, just make sure you do that. Make sure that you know the paper is agreeable to both, and you stay with what you have and she stays with what she has, and be more at peace. You don't have to like worry at the end if there's actually a divorce of what's gonna happen. I think it's better that way. If you don't want to do that, then that's fine. I mean, you can get married and you can find somebody if you believe in marriage. You know, if you believe in feeling love, connecting with that person, you gotta actually get to know the person really well. It's just not like what 6 months. Oh, I already know. No, you do not know a person in 6 months. I'm telling you, there's always hidden stuff in the closet. I'm telling you, you really have to get to know the person. It's good to know how the person is. I mean, you can look at the eyes of the person. You get to know if the person is lying or not, because you can tell when the person is lying to you because you've been with that person. And what's the sense of lying? If you're in a relationship and you get along with that person, why are you gonna lie? Because sooner or later the person's gonna find out and you're gonna be looking stupid. And believe me, that adds up. The person finds out certain things. How do you think the person's gonna treat you? They're gonna start lying to you. They're gonna start lying to you for lying to them, and you're not gonna know. Because believe me, men can lie. Sometimes men don't know how to lie, and women can lie and not get caught. So make sure that you respect the partner you're with, and things that you don't do is lie. Make sure that if you want it to work and the relationship to work, don't lie. Be honest with your partner and work the relationship, and just be honest. Because if you're gonna be lying to your partner, don't expect it to be honest and hey, tell you everything. Because believe me, I'm not gonna be open. If you're gonna be lying, I'm not gonna be open, and I will put you on blast and let you know, hey, this is not right. You did this, 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 and I feel like if you're gonna do that, then what's the sense of being in a relationship if you're gonna be lying and lying and lying? That's just it's just to me it's disgusting. Because if you're gonna be in a relationship, why would you want to be in a relationship? You're gonna be lying, lying and lying. Well, you think that the person's gonna want to be with you if you're constantly lying? I wouldn't be with a person that's constantly lying. I'll find somebody else. Somebody that can be honest with me. Somebody that can treat me better. Somebody I don't gotta deal with. Hey, why you gotta lie and say, hey, I went to the movies and you actually didn't go to the movies. You hanged out with friends. I don't mind if a guy hangs out with friends, because of course everybody has to have a life. If you're living with the person and the partner wants to go have fun with friends, it's normal. I mean, if you go to hang out, drink a few beers or whatever it is, that's normal. I mean, of course, everybody has to have life, has to have friends, and, do things with friends too. I mean, things you can do and things you should not do. So think about it. There's things that you have to have, do enjoy time with certain friends, but I mean, don't expect your partner to be okay with you hanging out with a female, because of course females certain times do have intent of why they want to hang out with you. Of course, if there's a interest there, a woman is gonna notice real quick, real quick. If it's a business thing and you're gonna do make money, that's different. But if you're constantly, hey, I'm gonna go hang out with my friend, my female friend, what do you think the woman is gonna do? Don't you think she has men friends that she's gonna go hang out with and just not bother with you? She's gonna and then what happens? She's gonna leave your ass for that somebody else. Because you have to have the level of respect and things you don't do when you're in a relationship. If you can't have certain boundaries, don't expect the woman to have boundaries. Because if you can't respect the person you're with, don't expect to get that respect back. I'm telling you, if you don't want a relationship, then don't plan to be in a relationship if you don't want to settle down and try to respect the person you're gonna be with. If you don't want to respect the person you're gonna be with, don't try to even put yourself in a relationship. Just stay single and fuck with who you want to fuck with. Be who you want to be with. Don't put yourself in a relationship if you're not ready for a relationship. But you have to let the person know, hey, I'm not looking for nothing serious. If you're willing, just whatever. I'm not looking for that. So go off. Go off and bye bye. I'm not somebody's plate just to, no. Mm-mm. I'm not. I'm not the type of person. But you will find that, of course. It's easy for a female to find any guy. And as well as some guys, it's easy for them to find a female. But there should be have some type of level of respect if you want to be in a relationship. So the do's and don'ts, remember, respect and love yourself to be able to love others. So thank you for watching. I hope these tips and tips can help you. And if you're in a relationship or looking for a relationship, or it can guide you in situations that you want to be in and things you should not do and do. Well, bye for now, and thanks for watching, and see you when I'm on. Don't forget to subscribe.